Hello everyone, I'm Sharma and I am going to explain you the tasks that I have got for the backend internship role at Zigy. So I have completed the task one, which is basically make two web pages, one that has input fields and the other one that display the same data in real time. So basically what does it mean? So we have two input fields on the page one. So whatever the data I put in the input field, it should be displayed on the page two without a reloading or anything on real time, right? So let me show you. So if I put hello, hey there, so you can see the data being displayed on the page two in real time, right? So this thing is done using something called socket.io. So let me explain the whole code base to you. Coming to the code base, so this is the whole code base. So if you see the first 5 line, basically these are the dependencies that we have included: express and http for the server thing, creating server and all those things, handling routes, right? Socket.io for the real-time thing, and the swagger is basically for some API documentation that I will explain a little later. Coming down, we have that const app equal to express. Basically we are creating an instance of express, then we are creating a http server using this instance of express, right? That app thing. Then we are creating socket.io server using http server, right? So then we have this middleware, which is app.use express.static public, right? Basically this is a middleware and it basically serves static files, right, from the public directory. So I have defined public over here, so it will take the static file from this public directory and it will serve it. Static files, for example, HTML, right? It's an example of static files. Then we have two routes, right? Accordingly, for the pages, for page one we have /1, for page two we have /2, and accordingly or respectively the particular HTML file is rendered. Let's say if the request is on /2, page 2 is rendered. If the request is on /1, page 1 is rendered, right? Then we have this thing. So basically when a client stabilizes a connection with the server, so this connection event is triggered, right? So what happens? So inside this connection event, if you see, we are listening. What we are doing is listening to this page one data. So this page one, which is basically imitated by the client side only when there is some changes in the data. Now what do I mean by it? So if you see this input field, so whenever I do some changes in these input fields, changes or right, let's say I don't say any changes, right? So this is being imitated by the client side only, right? Then basically what we do, we are displaying it on the page 2. So right, we are imitating the page 2 event. Okay. Coming down, we have this swagger configuration thing that I will explain a little later after explaining you the HTML files. Right now, let's go in the public directory, the HTML file. This is, we are gonna talk about the page one. So this is the basic HTML. Initially you can see the page one and two input fields with some IDs that I have given, right? Then if you see, we have used two scripts. The first script, basically it's a socket.io script which is necessary to stabilize a WebSocket connection with the server. So in the second script, we are creating a WebSocket connection with the server with this line const socket equal to io, right? Then what we are doing, so to this input fields we have added some event listener. So whenever there are some changes in the input field, we call these event listener, what they do, they call the handle input changes. Now inside the handle input changes, we have this const data object which basically stores the data inside the input field. So for example, if in the input field 1 we have hello, and the input field 2 we have there, right? So data will store text 1 as hello, text 2 as there, right? Then it will imitate the data. Now basically what does this line mean? It means it will send the data to the server. We get the data and then we will emit to the page 2 data. So we will emit to, then we will come to this page 2. Now let me explain you the page 2 part, right? So we have this page 2 where we have this unordered list, right? So what we have done initially, obviously I did that socket IO script to so that we can stabilize the socket IO, so sorry, WebSocket connection with the server. So in the second script, we have created a WebSocket connection, right? Now, if you see, when we get data from the page one, what we do, we take this list, right? And first we emptify it, right? We just clear the list. Then what we do, the data object that I have explained you in the page one and the text one text two thing, we iterate over it, and we what we do, we create a li tag. Whenever using ul tag, we have li tag to store things in it, right? To what are li tags? These are the li tags. This one, this is second li tag, right? And so we creating the li tag, and we are what we are putting in the text content means the data inside the li tag is the key. So what is the key is text one text two, right? We have seen, and the data inside this key. So as I told you, the text one is hello and the text two is there, was there, as I told you earlier. So that's how it's happening, and then we are just appending those list item to the main unordered list, and we are displaying it, right? Now coming back to the app.js part, we have this Swagger option. Basically for the API documentation, this is Swagger API is used. So if you see this thing, right, if I go on localhost slash what we have API docs, right? If I put enter, now socks, it's docs, right? So I will get this, right? Because you can see the heading, the version, the description, all of this thing, and you can put a hell lot of things in this. Okay, so this is all about the code. So this is the package.json file, the dependencies, the .ss, how you can run this project in your own local system, just npm install and node.app.js. That's all you have to do, right? And yep, that's it. Thanks a lot, everyone, and looking forward for the second round and working as a backend intern in this